Good day, everyone. Today, I'll be discussing to you about clause structure and different kinds of clauses. So, let's get started. What is clause? Is it a group of related words? It has subject and verb combination, and it has a complete meaning by itself. You can consider a simple sentence as a clause. For example, he plays cricket regularly. Now, is this a clause? For that, so we will check whether it satisfied all the three conditions that we just discussed. Is it a group of words? Well, yes it is. Here, he is the subject and plays is the verb. So it has a subject-verb combination. In the whole sentence, he plays cricket regularly makes complete meaning by itself. Hence, we can say it is a clause. Clauses are mainly divided into parts based on their usage. It may be independent clause or dependent clause. An independent clause is actually a complete sentence by itself. It doesn't need any other clause for its existence. For example, you may sit here. You is the subject and sit is the verb, and the whole sentence is giving a complete by itself. So it's an independent clause. Then, what is a dependent clause? It has a subject and a verb, but it doesn't have a complete thought by itself, and dependent on independent or main clause for a complete thought. Wherever you like here, you is the subject and like is the verb, and the whole sentence is having a meaning as well, but it's incomplete. Now, let's add a main clause to this clause. You may sit, and now the whole sentence becomes you may sit whether you like. Now, here, the entire thought is complete, which one main or independent clause and one dependent clause. This is all about dependent clause. Now, dependent clause are mainly divided into three parts: the noun clause, adjective clause, and adverb clause. Let's discuss first the noun clause. Noun clause is a group of words having subject and verb of its own, and it acts as a noun in the sentence. For example, I fear that I fail. Here, that I will fail is a clause, as it is a group of words having subject and verb, and the whole clause is acting as an object of the word fear. So, it's a noun clause. So, let's look into one more example of it. That you have come pleases me. Here, that you have come is a noun clause, as it is acting as subject of the workplaces. So basically, this clause does the verb. Let's look into the next type of clause, the adjective clause. This clause is a group of words having subject and the verb of its own, and it acts as an adjective in the sentence. Now, what does the adjective do? They describe noun, and so that's the adjective clause. For example, the umbrella which has broken handle is mine. Here, the clause which has a broken handle is an adjective clause, as it has a subject and a verb of its own, and is describing the noun umbrella. Let's look into the more example. He met a girl whose eyes were blue. Here, whose eyes were blue is an adjective clause. The clause is having a subject and a verb, and it is describing a noun, which is the girl. So basically, this clauses does the verb of and adjective. So now let's move on to the last type of clause, which is the adverb clause. Adverb clause is a group of words having subject and a verb of its form, and it acts as an adverb in the sentence. Now what does adverb do? So it modifies verb, adjective, or other adverbs in the sentence, and so desired work clause. For example, they rested when the evening came. Here when the evening came is a clause, as it has a subject evening and verb came, and it is describing verb rested, so it can adverb clause. So let's look for another example. I will give you a map so that you can find a way here. So that you can find a way is a clause, as it has a subject and a verb, and is describing the act of giving, which is a verb. So basically, this clause does the work of an adverb. And that's all for this video. Thank you for listening, and God bless.